Of the precious and few visual documents from the Zeppelin archive lies a miracle, a complete show from their 1977 tour, and a controversial bootleg that separates fans in two camps, those who love it and those who hate it. My Zeppelin fandom made me realize early on that 1977 was a divisive line in their history. The magnum opus setlist, the larger-than-life paradise close to overkill, the machine descending into North America to cater to a demand that made Earl's Court look like rehearsal. My first exposure to the 1977 footage was the shocking discovery via the 2003 DVD, where a portion from The Song Remains the Same was featured in one of the menus. White Dragon Suit Jimmy Page was a powerful scene. Many years went by until I received an invitation from a local Zeppelin bootleg salesman and collector back in 2006. He held a private screening for Seattle 1977, but unfortunately I was busy that evening and couldn't make it. I had to wait and get some consolation prizes in between, like the promo videos for Over the Hills and Far Away and Hola Love for some of that strange and captivating 1977 stuff. I felt the vibes were different, close to the edge, dangerously famous, but always superior to the best-selling album of 1977, Bat Out of Hell. Fast forward 2012 and the year of Celebration Day. My Zeppelin fever led me to some websites and I managed to watch the Seattle footage for the first time. The dry soundboard made it very hard to appreciate the 3.5 hours into the world of latter-day Led Zeppelin. I was excited, and as the setlist progressed, I had more questions than answers. I wanted to feel good about it, but the visuals felt claustrophobic and the audio anemic. Yes, I was thrilled to see White Dragon Suit Jimmy Page and the band showing a very different angle to The Song Remains the Same movie and the Led Zeppelin DVD. But I just stopped watching the whole thing and I wasn't even halfway through it yet. Memories of rapid stills and a very bad mix stuck in my mind for an entire decade. I love the audience recordings from this tour, like Listen to This Eddie, and even Oakland was on my playlist rotation, but Seattle was a taboo subject. Then I started my YouTube channel back in 2022, and I found myself going deep on 1977 for context on my Into the Outdoor series, The Making of Presents, and the Elvis Presley Led Zeppelin connection of their last North American concerts. I revisited Seattle with caution, not revisiting the whole thing but small segments, going for audience 8mm snippets instead. But after exhaustive research on my 3-part series on the band's 5 nights at Earl's Court, I decided to face the music, video, and sentiments for Seattle. They say give peace a chance. I gave this concert an open-arm welcome, including the mighty Kingdome, a massive stadium that reflected the stature of Led Zeppelin's popularity on their 11th visit to the United States of America. A 19-song setlist with just about everything the band was famous for in 1977. And just as an introduction, I want to read a brief snippet from a newspaper review at the time, written by journalist Fred Siegmuller. Quote, "But it is the music that has made Zeppelin so huge. In the musicians' long 17-song one-encore performance, they cover all their bases, playing everything from hard-driven rock to a few acoustical ballads. Unfortunately, playing 17 tunes in 3.5 hours means some songs become quite drawn out, which is Zeppelin's one major weak point, musical overindulgence. The long drum and keyboard spots were especially dreary after a while. The band's 4-song acoustic set, however, was a nice change of pace. The band returned for a 2-song encore of Hola Love and Rock and Roll before charging out the back door to waiting limousines." With this being said, guys, we'll return to July 17th, 1977, back to the evening when Zeppelin owned Seattle's Kingdome of 67,000 fans at $10 each. You do the math on the profits. I'll narrate the adventure and challenge Fred Siegmuller's review with my deep dive into this concert. This is the Zeppelin Kingdome, the untold story of Seattle 1977. Just one day before its 24th anniversary, the Kingdome was demolished after a long record hosting football, baseball, basketball, and soccer events. With a troubling roof situation that was a headache from the start, leading to unstable panels and leaks, it was the end of an era for this massive venue. The Kingdome started off as an idea in the early 60s, with an uphill battle of approvals, budget, and finding a suitable location. Funded with taxpayer money, construction started in 1973, and the stadium had no sports team assigned to occupy it after a failed attempt with the Seattle Pilots. The original contractor was fired around 1974 after many issues pushed the venue away from completion date. That same year, the NFL awarded Seattle with an expansion franchise for the stadium, the Seattle Seahawks. With $20 million over budget, the Kingdome opened its doors on March 27, 1976, just 4 days before Led Zeppelin's Presence was released. Both Seahawks and Mariners played their first games on the stadium that year. This is a photograph from the Seahawks and 49ers game on August 1st. Now, the first ever rock concert at the Kingdome was played by Wings on June 10th, with attendance numbers of 67,053 tickets, setting the record for indoor venues. This, of course, would be surpassed by Led Zeppelin's legendary show at the Pontiac Silverdome less than a year later. One song from Wings' Seattle concert was used on their triple live album, In the Ways of Spirits of Ancient Egypt. Only 3 more Kingdome concerts followed before Zeppelin's arrival, because Seattle Center Coliseum remained the go-to venue for promoters. The smaller capacity made for a safer bet and recouped their investment. The Kingdome saw the Eagles on August 6, 1976, Aerosmith on September 3rd with supporting acts Jeff Beck and Ian Hammer, plus Rick Derringer, and the hit record man himself, Peter Frampton, on June 27, 1977, with supporting acts Foghat, Jay Giles Band, and Blondie Chaplin. That very same day, June 27th, was the day Led Zeppelin played their last ever show from a 6-night run at the LA Forum. It was also their last show from the tour's second leg of 23 concerts, out of 40 played since April 1977. The band went on a 20-day vacation before coming back for a third leg of 11 shows. This downtime was risky for the tight musical unit, whose instruments were left in the storage room waiting for the last portion of the tour. Leg number 3 of the tour was the shortest, yet the most ambitious. It included huge venues like Oakland Coliseum, Louisiana Superdome, Ridge Stadium, and JFK Stadium. Because of the career highlights achieved on stage in 1977, the expectations for the band to continue were at an all-time high. I definitely recommend you checking my video series on the parallels between Elvis Presley and Led Zeppelin for an inside look at that year's concert industry, plus the mental and physical effects it had on the artists themselves. You can also check the Making of Presence episode 2 for a detailed audio summary of the 1977 tour.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection, it's Millennium Falcon that you put together. Batteries not included.
Nice landing, Han Solo. Uh-oh, come on, Chewbacca. Stormtroopers are coming.
Action figures each sold separately.
Got them on radar. I'll fire the laser cannon.
There's even a hidden storage hatch.
Ready for takeoff. Jump to light speed. We're gone. On to the Death Star.
Millennium Falcon from Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection. Action figures each sold separately.
It had been 2 years, 3 months, and 26 days since Led Zeppelin's last visit to Seattle on March 21st, 1975. This time they didn't return to Seattle Center Coliseum, but drove their limos to the Kingdome. Because of its dimensions, video screens were used, thus why we have pro-shot footage from the concert. This was just a visual reference, and like Earl's Court, it was intended to be a visual aid as opposed to filming the actual show, which explains the limited number of angles and shots. We barely see John Paul Jones in here, to the point of Led Zeppelin almost being a trio. In the wardrobe department, Page, Jones and Bonham chose white outfits for the Seattle show, which were quite frequent that year. Jimmy's white dragon suit became the iconic look of the 1977 tour, while Bonzo went for a sort of wife beater, and Jones chose a similar style to May 17, 1975 at Earl's Court. Now, it seems this was the only time Robert wore this particular stripes pattern outfit, as opposed to his usual selection for this tour. Now let me go back to Jimmy's white dragon suit. I have some stats for you. This is the making of stats. I did my research on all the photographs for each state from their 1977 tour and found some interesting facts. In the period of April 1st through the 17th, had Jimmy wearing the White Dragon coat with plain white pants a total of 8 times. We can speculate the Rose and Dragon pants were not finished yet, thus he had to use something else. The complete outfit was premiered on April 19th at Riverfront Coliseum, Cincinnati. He wore this 18 times. Some dates in the last part of April, 8 out of 9 dates in May, and then 4 shows in early June. Then he went back to the White Dragon coat and white pants for the last night at the Garden and San Diego Sports Arena, and then he went back to both coat and dragon pants for June 21st, 26th, and 27th at the Forum. The Seattle Kingdome date was the last time Jimmy wore his White Dragon piece on stage. So total numbers for white suit and white pants, 10 times, dragon coat and pants, 22 times. I want to thank my dear patrons for funding this type of research. And if you want to join my Patreon, you can check the link in the description below. The band starts off with The Song Remains the Same, and you can feel the tempo is held back, as if it was opening night of the actual tour. Jimmy looks uncomfortably stiff, in contrast to his energetic moves in June. His 12-string guitar lines are nicely backed up by Jones and Bonham, who will save this show many times tonight. Robert's voice warms up to the opening number. While not a bad start, there is a tired feeling going on. Again, it's not a bad start. The instrumental was played well, and they slowly get into their element for a very long concert of 3.5 hours. Sick Again has flu-like symptoms, with Robert battling high notes and cracks. The opening run of The Song Remains the Same and Sick Again made great use of the Gibson double neck in full, adding up to Jimmy's iconic status in the 70s. Now, it's quite painful to listen to the audience or lag off on the dry soundboard from the video. I definitely recommend hearing the audience recording for reference. For such a massive venue, it's a shame this depth wasn't captured on the visuals. Robert Plant refers to Jimmy's sleeping sickness, a great plantation that sheds light on Jimmy's personal lifestyle choices at the time. I can only imagine the conversations backstage or attempts at dealing with the communication breakdown excess of the 70s. As much as Page looks strange, his rhythm work was on point.
Well, I don't think it's up to us to say welcome, but nevertheless, welcome to Led Zeppelin. Well, this is the beginning of the third leg of, or the third part of what's proved to be the longest tour that we've ever done. And as we start off, we've got a couple of amazing problems. I've gone deaf in one ear, which leaves the critics to work it out for themselves. Jimmy's got a touch of sleeping sickness. And so what we're going to try and do is play and play and play non-stop.
Nobody's Fault But Mine was such a killer track on that tour, and this is no exception. They really loved this one. I personally think 1977 has one of the greatest set lists in Zeppelin history. A brave and epic display that proved the band didn't take it easy, but challenged themselves to exhaustion. From the last studio album we ever did that was called Presence. Jimmy switched to his cherry red Les Paul for Over the Hills and Far Away. While he somewhat struggled with the intro, Robert's voice took it home. Page's guitar solo takes the route of long notes on the F-sharp section. He's not going through the motions as many people say, but creating on the run. Thing is, his timing and physical response to the ideas was definitely slower. Best example of this would be Bonham's drum performance on May 24th at Earl's Court, and Robert busting balls talking about a bandmate's pastime with Quaaludes. Playing lead guitar if you feel tired is a challenge, where rhythm parts are really muscle memory. Because Jimmy didn't play the same solo every night, it was demanding to improvise, if not at 100% physical capacity. I'm not defending him like a fanboy, but as a guitarist myself who understands the craft. The only time I played a Zeppelin tribute show after many tequilas was humbling, to say the least. I forgot a section from Over the Hills and Far Away's intro, and soloing was hard despite my brain sending instructions. After the show, I told my bandmates, so this is what 1977 Jimmy went through? We all laughed in English with subtitles. The singer said he didn't really know Zeppelin's history that much, never mind 1977. I stopped laughing. I was disappointed. Next song, Since I've Been Loving You. Despite Jimmy dangerously walking the tightrope of crazy bends and risky propositions, I really like the T-for-1 effect on this song, past the band recording that blues number for Presence. Page is laid back and everybody else is relaxed. This song speaks of the pressures of show business in ways other numbers on the set just can't. Yes, Robert Plant's voice cracks in places, but isn't that the point of bearing your soul here? It's the blues. You suffer. You remind everyone you're not perfect, but human. The stellar musicianship of Jones's electric piano and Bonham's Ludwig stainless steel kit make this a bone-chilling cry for help. John Bonham was the MVP on this song.